Before we start this tier list, I just want you guys to know that we're doing an all-encompassing tier list. So we're keeping account of the PvE capabilities and the PvP capabilities, and then throwing them in the tier list altogether because it is a PvEvP game. Who do you want to start with? The DPS, healers, or tanks?
The pilots, they go to D tier.
Yeah, you want to start with the pilots?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
go to D tier or S tier.
Let's talk about the pilots, bro. You know how much damage a pilot does?
I don't, because I try not to stay a pilot too long.
It's like 16 damage a hit. It's like, you know, it's like a little SMG. Okay, you're right. They go to D tier.
Yo, D tier. I was thinking S tier just because they can turn into anything, but like as far as capabilities, D tier.
Bro, that's a good point. They could be anything at any time. Yo, they're going to S tier, bro. S tier exosuits. I didn't think about that. Let's start with the DPS, the assaults.
Okay.
Let's start with Barrage since he's first. I'm not gonna lie. I think Barrage does it all. I think he clears out PvE. He's got for PvP, he has a 5k damage alt nuke. He has a stun and evade that also reloads like Deadeye if he put the module on.
I haven't played Barrage at all. I think he's still level 1, but from what I've seen, teammates wise playing Barrage, he's up there at least for top damage most of the time. Mostly because he can clear out those mobs of dinos, and even in PvP, especially when they have like a Dominator coming in, his ult alone like takes out like more than half of like the Dominator's health. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that 5 stacks. Yeah, he's gotta go S tier. He might be the only one. Yeah, I don't even. Besides him and the Exo, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right, Nick, your favorite? Yeah, Deadeye.
Deadeye,
bro.
I do love Deadeye. I can't give him S tier because personally I think I give him A tier strictly because of his, I guess you could say, vanilla / balanced kit. Standard machine gun. Standard machine gun can dodge roll, and then depending on your mods with the dodge roll, it can either increase your defense or it can automatically reload your machine gun, which takes he has about 40 bullets in his magazines, and the dodge roll takes 4 seconds to reload. So literally as soon as you run out of ammo, you can just do the dodge roll to redo your ammo to reload, and by the time you're out of your ammo again, you can just keep on indefinitely dodge rolling to keep reloading ammo. I think that's such a really cool effect.
Yeah, that sounds
then with his,
does that continue the damage chain with the damage chain module?
I have no idea. I just got the damage chain, so I didn't get to test it out.
Oh no, that's the first one you get, right? Yeah.
The first one. Which one? The
one with consecutive hits.
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's busted. Okay, that's
so it just snacks indefinitely, not indefinitely, but it never goes away, which is really cool. And then obviously, you know, I mean, I love the grenade launcher. Good for those mobs. But
I think it's broken that the grenade launcher can crit if you get a headshot.
Yes, it's disgusting. It's really cool. And then when you do have that instance where it is close range, you have his thrust attack with the charge palm, which is freaking dope.
Yeah, which also does like 600 damage as well. If you get it.
And then, you know, it can take out a good amount of people. The only thing I say that kind of blows, it doesn't really blow, but I say with him at least, you're gonna his cooldowns for his skills can be kind of, I guess, a little long to me. But the only cooldown that isn't technically long is the dodge roll, because it's only 4 seconds. But once you bust that grenade launcher, that energy pump out, you're kind of just waiting for those to come back up.
Yeah, just shooting the entire time.
Yeah, just shooting. But then it does work well in tandem with his recharger mod, because that means every time he's using the Ravager, it reduces the cooldown for the grenade launcher and the thrust attack.
Yeah, but gotta be more testing with that, because I don't really see a notable change. And in PvP, I'm not really concerned about like my cooldowns. It's weird. Like if I'm shooting the like another player, I'm thinking that I have the normal cooldowns that we usually have. So I haven't yet to notice a significant change in that regard. But like I was telling you,
yeah, in the PvP like set, I don't really like to use him that much. I don't really even like to use his skills in PvP. I just kind of stick to Ravager because it's so, people move around so much. Like I know with mobs, and when I shoot the grenade launcher, I'm going to kill some mobs. I know with players, they're gonna get out the way when they see that thing fly out.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta get that shot grenade, bro. That straight away mod. Also, I was in the training room, and like I said, the dive dodge, the one that increases your defenses, it increases your defense for about 2.5 seconds, and the cooldown is 4 seconds when you max it out. But the damage mitigation is 50%, which is huge. You probably still won't survive a barrage ult, but you know, if a dino explodes next to you, you'll be perfectly fine.
Okay.
And I don't know if you do this, but if you hold the controls that you do to shoot the grenade, it's like the right trigger and E. If you hold it, it'll give you like a line of sight, like of where it will fall.
Had no idea.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Same. I did that in the training room like 5 minutes ago. So yeah, I agree. He's a well balanced kit, very easy to use, beginning wise, good for PvE and PvP. We're gonna have to move him up to A tier.
Agree.
The reason I say I won't put him in S tier is, one, he's just not as easy to use as Barrage. He's not a meme like your character. He's he's legit. You have to be able to aim. His ultimate, you can mess it up. You can't just take out a dino, like a major dino, a player, control dino, or say like those box points. Yeah, he's just not as, he doesn't get as much value for less work as Barrage. Fair. And I don't think anyone does, to be honest. But we'll see when we get to that list, because you might change my mind. Next on the assault list, we have a fan favorite. Hold up.
Zephyr?
Yeah, we have a fan favorite, Zephyr. Zephyr seems to me Zephyr's strong.
Yeah.
Zephyr for PvE, his shoulder charge clears out waves like Deadeye's thrust. He has knockups. He has CC in spades. Let's see. Does he have any like defense?
His defense is
yeah, he's got the gust step as well. Yeah, he's got gust step. Temporarily increases defense upon use. I don't know. At a firefight, he's at a disadvantage, obviously, but he closed that gap so quickly. He has 2 dashes, a shoulder charge. We also have that rig, the catapult. I mean, I've killed plenty of Zephyrs. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I agree. I feel like personally, I put him either A or B tier, leaning towards A, strictly because if you know how to play Zephyr, you're gonna mess up the enemy team. But I think he excels in PvP more than PvE, because I could have not obviously discovered how to use him the right way. But I feel like with him, his point accumulation is lacking in PvE, because I feel like half the time, most of his stuff is, if you're not constantly hitting things, you're not racking up those points. Like, he does damage, but it is risky for you to go into the fray when there's a whole mob of raptors. I'm gonna do it anyway. But when you go into the fray as into a raptors as Zephyr, you only have 350 health, I believe, 350 or 450. It's not a lot of health. Yeah. And when they mob you, you pretty much, that's it. Especially if all your skills are gone, it doesn't feel very safe. So you end up having to put the shield rig on or the healing rig on, because you're going to die if you go in there. Now, most people are saying, well, don't go in there, but it's like, well, I'm Zephyr. I have to go in there. I have to go in there, get my combos off. PvP, I've destroyed plenty of people as Zephyr using that ult. That ult is nasty with the cooldown reduction, because that's where I feel like his kit lies heavy, is the skills, especially when you get to that level 16 mod, the melee enhancer, when now your base damage does 40% increase. It's disgusting. The damage is there, especially when you do fight those dinos, like those big ones, the ones that you can actually sit there and beat them up and get your points scaling. But
when it comes to those mobs and the 100 raptors, 1,000 raptors, just in general, mob of enemies, he really does take a hit. I noticed when I was healing you the other day, I was like, this man is always on low health. And I think they should have thought about that. I think what would have helped them for that 14 skill, where it's like, temporarily increases defense. If they would have did a temporarily gives lifesteal, I think that would have been huge for him. Because they did go for the, let's help him sustain, but I really think it should have been a little further.
I agree.
I think his autos are underwhelming, personally.
Especially when you put on the melee enhancer, because when you have the first mod, the Assailer one, which every time you time the attack right, you get a cooldown reduction. It releases energy waves, which kind of extend his range a little bit, so you're not completely like face to face with the raptor. But when you put on that melee enhancer, the energy waves go away, so now you're even closer. It's like, okay, if you want to do this this big D damage, you're gonna have to be in their face.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's almost dying to raptors. That sounds like
it's
B.
pretty,
yeah, B tier. It'd be still good in PvP, but lying to raptors, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. And then God forbid a Carno comes in or a Triceratops and just rams you into a wall. He's pretty much, when he gets hit by a big dino, it's pretty much it for him.
Honestly, I would put him in C tier, but after I saw him, I've seen a Zephyr like one shot at an assault, like DPS, just like combo wise, and I was like, okay, that's pretty strong. It's not two headshots like Vigilant strong, but we'll talk about that later. But it's because one's easier than the other. Juggling is definitely more difficult.
I agree.
But still, it's the damage can't be ignored by someone who knows what they're doing. So B tier for Zephyr. Who does that leave? We have the last one, the last DPS, my personal favorite, Vigilant. I'm not gonna lie.
What do you think?
If I could, I put her in S tier. You know what I'm saying? But I know that's not fair because
you can back it up.
Well, it's like, okay, I think she's an S tier character for PvP, right? If you can aim, you're gonna dominate. It takes 2 headshots to kill a healer or assault user. It's gonna take like 5 or 6. It's gonna take 5 or 6 for a DPS. I mean, for a tank, because the tanks have mitigation, they have shields, they have a shit ton more health, almost triple from everyone else. But outside of PvP, what does she do? She's not easy to use for everyone, because you have to be able to aim. You miss a shot, that's time. After you miss a shot, they know where you are. If they get close to you, are you still a good Zephyr player? I mean, sorry, not Zephyr. If they get close to you, you're still a good Vigilant player. It's
I guess it depends on what you can do.
Right. So it's a character. Now we're talking in a game where we have like user-friendly characters. Now we have this challenging character you have to unlock later, so you don't even get your feet wet until you actually play the game. I don't know. I feel like her difficulty has to knock her down a tab. Also, we have the PvE. She's not helping clear mobs unless everything's in a straight line. Of course, you can spam the charge shot and kill things in a line, maybe 3 at a time. Bam, 3 at a time. Bam, 3 at a time. Bam. Because the charge rate is fast. But it definitely doesn't feel as good as lobbing a grenade into a crowd or a Deadeye just breathing in the same space as some mobs. I mean, not Deadeye. What I said, I meant Barrage. Barrage is breathing in a space of enemies. So it's like her PvE. People don't like playing her in PvE. I say a lot of people try, and the team just be behind, and then people yelling on microphones like, "Just play a Barrage," and people just switch to her for PvP. But there's players like me who are just good at it all the time, so it's like it's hard to rate her because I know she's not S tier. I know she's not S tier because she doesn't do it all.
I think she's solid A tier. She has that longer, like, just because she excels in PvP, and like you said, mob wise, she really can't take them down. But when those big dinos come out, like Triceratops, Carnos, and you just hit those headshots repeatedly, it does make a big difference. And goodness, if they do get close enough, this is for PvP or PvE, other players or big Carnos, Triceratops, you do have the icicle, which can then freeze them and then gives you more opportunity to deliver those headshots and knock them out. I've seen you do that plenty of times.
Yeah, especially thanks to a mod that you get. I honestly don't take it off of her. I used to use the finishing strike mod, but Frostbite, you get 2 stacks of it, 2 stacks of the exploding ice. You can fend off multiple people. Carno takes 2 frostbites to freeze, and it has a minute cooldown before he can be frozen again. A T-Rex you just cannot with her. You cannot freeze him. with her. You can throw both of them at her and even use like the freezing bolt, and he will still just look at you like, what was that?
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? But yeah, everyone else can get it. That's how I defeat all the Zephyrs that come my way. I put it at my feet, and he has to come in or run away, and they never run away. They get frozen, and I charge up a headshot. So yeah, I think you're right. Solid A. And if you're really good, if you're good at her, like know how to aim, she's an S tier.
S tier, definitely. She can definitely change the tide of battle. Hit those headshots when people are transporting the box, or hit the box itself. Like it does some, you can do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, and if you're missing your shots, she's C tier. Absolutely. Matter of fact, she's
garbage.
D tier. Yeah,
garbage if you can't aim.
Yeah, if you can't aim, she's a terrible unit. And her hip fire is almost useless. It's good for crowd control because like the Raptors will like bounce back and stuff. But other than that, it's all right. We're done with the assaults. Which one you want to do? Tank or supports?
Let's do tanks. We'll go right down the line.
All right, roadblock. I think roadblock. Okay, yeah. It's like I want to say roadblock is S tier. S tier tank.
Do it all.
Yeah, he does it all, bro. Like we've had this conversation so many times. What does he do? He
shields.
He shields. Krieger shields.
He provokes.
But he provokes. And Murasame provokes. He's got two of the strongest parts of the other tanks, and he just has them as two buttons.
Yeah, it's pretty gross, and like and then great health and the animations. Oh my goodness.
Oh, when you're pushing back something. Oh, dude.
Yeah, you put that shield up. A whole bunch of Raptors are pushing against your shield, and then he puts on the back boosters and just starts to try and like hold it back. It's just he looks cool. He may not look cool. Looks like a big guy at the shield, but like when he does his stuff, he is cool. My only gripe with him, which is fine because he is a tank, he has no long range.
Yeah, he's kind of stuck with like Zephyr. He's like, if you gotta stay on the payload, you're kind of bored out of your mind. You're like, do I hold the shield up? Like, what do I do? So that's not too fun. I mean, you can get a shoulder cannon. You're waiting every like
shoulder cannon every night. Yeah. That's my only personal gripe with him is that you like if you're doing according to payload, you're just gonna sit there and let the rest of your friends do it. But that's the tank. It's a tankless job. You get it? It's a tankless job.
Oh wow!
You just kind of do it. You do it.
No one tanks you for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, no one tanks you for it. You get it. Yeah, you do it for the group. That's my only really thing about him is that for those ranged fights, like you can go in there as roadblock, but your shield is only in the front of you. So I guess in PvP, if they surround you, they can get you. But it is tough to get you if you are a roadblock.
Yeah.
I personally would say 8 S tier because that with those mods, those shield upgrades, like that thing's not coming down.
Oh wow.
I know when I fight a roadblock as whoever I am, and I'm popping that shield, I'm sitting there like this thing. I bet this thing is still at like 95%, even though I'm popping this thing with everything I got. Like I just feel like it's unbreakable. The only time I feel like the roadblock shield breaks is if a big, and I mean a big dino hits it, like a T-Rex.
Yeah, you see him struggling. Yeah. Oh my god, the boss fights. And it's like in the boss fights, it's like you need a roadblock.
You do. He's essential.
Also, he gets a stun at level 6 with the module. For PvP, that's strong.
Yeah, the stun blast.
Yeah. Like, you got a shield, CC. There's a dash where, again, increased defense temporarily. I don't know the mitigation on it, but they have been strong lately. It's the boss fights. The fact that he's essential for boss fights just throws him at the top of the list for PvP. I mean for PvE, because when the Savage comes out, who do you think people are going to go to? You think they're going to rely on Krieger's shield?
Yeah.
PvP though, like I know you said it's hard. You got to kind of chase people down, but how do you feel about him for PvP?
I will say, actually, I played a game earlier today where I was roadblock on the holding the point, not holding the point, transporting the box, and if you know how to work with a roadblock, he's very essential. I used this little tornado ult, and I ended up sucking up 2 or 3 of the enemy fighters, and our Dominator was at him, and he just went up and knocked them out the tornado and killed them.
Oh yeah, his ult is crazy.
Yeah, and it's not, and people think like it doesn't do any damage. It's not for the damage. It's to keep you in a spot and to subdue you. And pretty much people don't capitalize on it enough, but when he's ulting it, that's when your teammates are supposed to look into that tornado and just start pelting pelting the enemy. You're not supposed to use the tornado and just kind of let it disperse. You just leave it on and just sit there and let your teammates just it's like a shock plant. Just let them take them out of the sky.
Wow. So he can protect the payloads, protect players, give them something to shoot through, and then at the time he's just like, okay, the perfect CC. Also, were you a part of that game where like 3 people got thrown off the stage by the roadblock? Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, the tornado. He just sucked us up and.
Yeah, threw it right off to the water, and I was like, that's strong.
Homeboy gets the S tier for me.
Yeah, same. That's what I'm thinking. Because I'm telling you, Savage content, bro.
People are going him.
Yeah, I might even like get his level up because somebody might not want to beat him. You got Krieger, minigun boy.
We both played a bit of Krieger. I think you've played Krieger more than me. What do you personally think?
Yeah, I've absolutely level 18 on Krieger. The 3s you hit when you use them can be very like dissuading, but I think he does a lot of damage. That minigun just dishes out loads of damage. His shield is not roadblock level, but it is good for pushing. It's getting space, because I think the biggest thing it does is like if you're surrounded or need to res somebody, you can buy that time.
The mobs, you're right.
Yeah, you push all the mobs out, and you can do whatever you need to do, whether it's defend, shoot, little the numbers. If you upgrade the shield with the level 8 mod Sturdy Dome, which I think increased the durability by 200. No, it's like upgraded. It's what? Let me see, 400. That's enough to tank 3 Carno hits, 2 Rex hits, and the Trike's just not getting through. The Triceratops. So like his shield does get better if you have the module. But that cooldown of 25 seconds is brutal. I think it's absolutely too long.
Yeah, those are some high cooldowns.
Because what are you doing with him when the shield's gone? What do you do as a Krieger?
You just gotta mow them down, but like at that point they're already surrounding you.
All right, nobody's using the dash to knock back enemies.
What do you think of his second skill, the first skill, the electro missile? What do you think of that? Do you like it?
I do not like it. It needs to either auto stun like big dinos, or just be like a pure damage, like higher number missile. It's just missing something. It just feels out of place in his kit. Like, what does a tank need with that?
I agree, and I don't know if it was to feel cool because you are this big hulking guy with a Gatling gun. Like, let's give him shoulder rockets too, and then you use it, and you're like, eh.
Yeah, you don't really. You kind of forget about the skill, to be honest, until a Pterodon shows up.
Then you're like, oh, I need to hit that out the sky. Let me use my rockets. And then I don't know if you've experienced this. There'll be times where I'll try and use the shoulder rockets, and they don't lock on.
Yeah, so then he just like free fires it straight ahead.
Yeah, just straight ahead, and I'm like, why would you do that when there's all these things in my face? I don't know if it's a targeting error where it doesn't know what to hit or something.
Yeah, they want you to hold it first, lock on, and then release it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it does have a mod where it does like it's pretty much guaranteed to like stun things, but you're picking that over a sturdier shield.
Yeah.
And that's just no contest there. As a tank, if you're truly tanking, you would never pick electro missile.
Yep.
But like I said, for PvE, he is very useful. He can push things out of the way. He can also start to do that with players once you upgrade it to max, I believe. The dome, sturdy dome. Let's see, rigs and modules, sturdy dome, knocks back hostile exo fighters when used. Yeah, you do get that as well. So it is, when it gets to PvP, it's a little better. The electro missile without the upgrade will stop somebody in the PvP. But you're not really killing anybody with the Gatling gun, are you?
No, you're not. You are racking up. You see the 3s, sometimes the 6s if it's critting. Like, you see it, but it depends. It depends on what you're fighting.
Yeah, but in a PvP fight, the 25-second shield is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's once, it's down, and then you're not a tank. You're just shooting. You're not protecting anybody. You're not defending anybody. You can use the shield rig like I do, but then you're just protecting yourself.
Yeah. Then you're a DPS, and not necessarily a strong DPS. You can defend yourself. I say A, B, but I'm leaning towards B.
I'm thinking BC.
BC. Oh wow.
Yeah, dude. Because it's like, we haven't even talked. We didn't even care to talk about his ultimate.
Too long.
Yeah, no one's getting hit by that.
Everyone's gonna walk out of it every time.
Even if they're like pushing the box, right, pushing the cube, and you ult the cube. No, fuck the cube. No one's staying there for that.
They're all gonna walk out of it. Like I personally, it's good for PvE, but no, I'm walking out of it every time I see. Up, guys, he's ulting. Let's move out of the way. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say this, right? And in the final, let's just do this non-spoiler. Let's do this spoiler free, right? In the last fight. Was Krieger essential?
Nope.
Okay. We don't have to talk about who was essential. I just want to ask if Krieger was.
Nah, he wasn't.
Okay.
Matter of fact, when people were him, they switched to the other tank.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think C.
Yeah,
I think C, bro. I'm sorry. Krieger.
People are like, I'm not being him anymore. I'm going to be either tank 1 or tank 3.
Yeah, and it's not to say he's not fun. I think he's fun, but I think it's what the game needs. He is a C tier character. You can use him. He will get the job done. C is a passing grade, but it's not great. All right, the fan favorite, Murasame. Murasame does not have a shield, but he does. You say it again?
I haven't played any Murasame, so this is all you.
Okay. Murasame, he doesn't have a shield, but he has a taunt. He has a parry where you don't take any damage to you personally. And once you get the parry off, you do extra damage for a set amount of time. Murasame is probably the most fun tank to play. Personally, the way I see people gravitate towards him, he's the coolest looking. He's the most fun to play. He does deep assault level damage. It's easy to bait a parry, especially when they have a Dominator. When you see an ult coming, he has mobility. He has like a wire that you can spin from, protecting the team at all. Whatsoever. Not protecting the team as a tank. But he is in the front lines, and he will stay in the front lines. So I have to give him that. PvE, yeah, he can clear wave. As long as you let him, he can clear wave. Because if he's trying to parry and you're like blowing up everything around him, he's just going to be swinging for the fences. That doesn't feel too good. But he does conquer the PvE field, like I said. Especially with his taunt. PvP wise, if no one's hitting your parry, your damage is going to be very lacking. But you have enough health to stay in the fight anyway. So it's not like an assault character is going to beat you necessarily. But it doesn't feel good when you don't get that parry. It feels like you're not playing the character right. It feels like you failed in some kind of way. Like it's a satisfaction that you need. You need to get that parry off when you're Murasame. In boss fights, yeah, he can parry the big stuff, keep the damage going. I personally think he's an assault character. But
he definitely survives. Like when we do those boss fights, he like parry. I'm like, meanwhile, everyone else is dead because no one else can survive it, and his parry keeps him alive in that like raid wide like ult that kills everybody. It's crazy.
Yeah, like I would give him a failing grade as a tank if he didn't have that if he didn't have the taunt, I would give him a failing grade. But the taunt like makes his kit. It makes it so he can use the parry. It just brings it all together really well. I think it's amazing, honestly. PvE, PvP, I think he does it all.
He does.
And I'd give it to I put him in A.
A tier? That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, why don't I put him in S tier?
So
his ultimate is insanely strong as well.
I would say his ult's dumb. I think out of the tanks, that ult does the most damage. Like you can literally when you dominate into another team with the Dominator, and then you hear that ult, you're dead pretty much. And I feel like as a tank, it does so much damage. And
that's true.
I think the only thing I would say for me watching Murasame players, why I don't think he's completely S tier, is because he doesn't do anything for the team itself.
I see. Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Too. Yeah, it's that.
Yeah.
It's that I feel like you're completing your role, but you're not doing, for me, what the other tanks do.
Mm-hmm. You're provoking so everyone's looking at you, but let's say for some reason they don't look at you anymore and they're looking at us, we're gonna die.
Yeah, so like he's A+ for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still an A. All right, now onto the healers.
The healers. I'm about to rip these boys apart. Yeah.
Hey man, yeah, you know how I'm feeling. Nimbus D tier. Give her D.
100%.
Yeah. Give her D. No. No, what I don't like is how people play Nimbus. That's really what I have to like remove really quickly when we evaluate this character. She has a strong kit. She can do it all. She has offense. If you can aim, incredible damage dealer. Healing, if you can aim, incredible healer. The spread shot, if you can't aim, is very good. You know, if you put her on healing and spread shot, they can heal other people. And what makes her so good to me is just that clone that can res people. And then you can increase that health. Sorry, when you get the module and you increase that health, it gets all the way up to 900 health.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty. And then you don't even have to res people. You can escape. You're in a mob and you're like, oh, I have overstepped. Time to warp out of here. And then when, like you said, when you warp, boom, I'm healing people in the process. Where do you think she would lie? Oh, sorry. Let's talk about the skills first.
PvE, right? She has the skill where she can increase her crit damage. And what is it? The amped spread. Increases the base damage of the spread. Knocks a bunch of people up. Does a little bit of damage, and it makes it so like your guns glow again for more. I think she handles herself pretty well. I don't think she's soloing anything outside of Raptors and Pterodons. I just don't like how her kit makes you want to do damage when you're supposed to be a healer. Because you kind of, I don't know. It's like a lot of other people. They're too late on the switch,
or they don't want to switch.
Yeah, or they don't want to switch to healing. But again, we can't keep players in mind when we're talking about the character. So
yeah, that's fair. I think she's the perfect hybrid person. You got damage and heals, and when utilized the right way, can do disgusting things. Not like, oh, if you can aim and stuff, but like this particular character heals and does damage and can turn the tide in any fight. That's we're dying from a swarm of pteranodons. Let me start healing people with the spread shot. Okay, we've got that down. Time to do some damage. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, that guy's down. Let me go send my clone over there. Or my whole team's dying over there. Let me send the clone over there so I can go heal everybody. Like, I think this is a character that does it all. Damage, heal. Oh,
yeah. When you teleport to the clone, it heals your area. I forgot about that.
Like, it does it all. So, though there are people who don't know how to play Nimbus the right way, or they lean to one side, I think the character is a good hybrid. Like, I would give her A tier just because she only has like 2 skills.
That's true. Her kit it was done really well. Yeah. The developers did an insane job on making the perfect hybrid, because even her shortcomings you have modules for it. You can switch with 0 downtime. And I think with that, it just makes her perfect. Let's see. In PvP, I personally kill people by hitting headshots. I think it's strong. Her enhanced guns are strong. Like you said, you can juke. You can res people. You can actually, matter of fact, you can res people in front of their face with the clone if you have that 900 like health mod, and they can't do anything about it. I know I'm not deleting freaking 900 health, even with Vigilant, because players take reduced damage. I think a headshot for a player is like 240.
I feel like the developers, everyone has their own unique thing. I feel like whoever made Nimbus had fun making her.
Yeah, her ult's a bit underwhelming though.
Yeah. I guess that's the aspect of it. The ult is, or for this character that can do both damage and healing, the ult is strictly healing, I feel like.
Yeah, it does something. I think it just like it hurts the enemy team or something like that, you know? I'll tell you in just 1 second.
I don't know if it does disrupt their vision or something. Well, I know it pushes them back, I believe.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, it doesn't distort their vision. That's Skywave.
Yeah, that's Skywave.
And that's just an ability.
I don't know. Would it be cool if would it be maybe overloaded if for the ult, depending on what stance you're in, your ult changed. So if you're doing damage, it would be a damage ult.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
That'd be really cool, right?
Yeah, because like you said, all it does is push them back. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Heals allies and repulses allies. It doesn't scream game changer.
It's kind of like a Lucio ult with a little bit of a pushback.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, A tier it is. She's good. I mean, she's good. It's just a lot of user error. People can't aim, and people don't like to stop. People don't look at who needs healing when they're doing damage. It's really done a user error, but she's an amazing unit, and if you get what you put into her. If you're good, she's good.
It's true. It's true.
We don't have a lot of people in the chopping block. They did a really good job with these characters.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Let's talk about Skywave.
Oh man, you know, as I feel like the most avid Skywave user in our group. She can be kind of boring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If we're going down the list for PvE, you're just using your gravity lock on the mobs. That's all you're doing. Which can be a good way for grouping them all up and then letting your your teammates just kind of destroy them down, knock them down while they're in that little orb. But
but if you got a Murasame on your team, he's like raging at you.
Yeah, he's why you pull them all away? It's gameplay wise, it just isn't fun. A lot of people, I feel a lot of people use Zephyr because Skywave is because you got put into the role and you kind of don't want to do it. So you're like, fine, I'll fly up into the sky and just throw the little the healing spheres down. And I feel like personally, the healing spheres, if you're too far away, you're not going to heal your friends. You're going to probably hit. It can be a little awkward and slow with the actual like shooting of the orbs, but I think healing wise, she does what she's supposed to do. She heals. I don't think she's fun to play though. She can also she can also disrupt enemies in PvP with her group heal. If you shoot them with the group heal, it disrupts their vision, which is good for PvP. But you're not gonna be in there really doing some wild stuff.
What? I thought we were gonna put her in S tier, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh man, nah.
But that's from the outside look. That's from the outside looking in, because from my point of perspective, right? I'm thinking, okay, if she's healing an ally, she's also hurting who's ever in front of them. I've used her once and used the gravity thing. It will pull like a Carno away. Like it'll disrupt his center of gravity and like CC the Carno for a bit. It can blind, like you said, all obviously players, but also blinds mobs of enemies. So like the group will just stop. You can never get to her. She'll never die to mobs because she can fly in the air. But like I said, that's just a superficial outside looking in. Like I said, I don't play her because I don't think she's enjoyable. But I think she contributes. Yeah, no, honestly, I mean that's just how I feel though. I'm a DPS player. I want to click heads, so that's my play style. Other people, like people who like to play Mercy and people who like to play supports and help their team because their team can't help themselves. Let's be honest. I need a healer myself. We need people that like to play Skywave, and a lot of people do. It's just that they're not looking for that gratification of like killing enemies or killing mobs. They're like, let me help you gather those up. Let's be more efficient, you know? And I'm grateful for those people, but I personally can't do it.
Yeah. She's got the right stuff, but like you said, it can't be enjoyable. But like you said, she's got the good heals and everything like that. You're not really, and her damage isn't up there. Like you can hit those people if they are close to your enemies. You're not there for the damage, obviously, you're a healer. I will say her ult is magnificent.
Oh yeah, that ult is a game changer no matter what you're doing.
That time stop is pretty disgusting, especially if you are in a boss raid and they're not doing like a ridiculous attack, or even if you're in a team fight and you freeze them all and you've got someone to just sit there and pop everybody in their heads. It's really good, and you are right about her not being able. You honestly never have to touch the ground. Unless you want to try and res somebody, which I don't think you should do as Skywave, because if you're on the ground, people are like, oh my goodness, Skywave's on the ground, let's get her. And I will say one problem I personally have with Skywave, and I feel like this just might be a healer thing. No, I think with her and Nimbus maybe, when you get hurt as a Skywave, you gotta hide. There is no way to really heal yourself besides the healing rig.
So I know same as Nimbus, yeah.
Yeah, you can't really. You can heal other people, but when you get hurt, when you get hurt, that's you either start running or you got to put a healing rig down because you're gonna die soon. So she's for the team, not so much for herself.
Yeah, never for herself. You'll probably never find a Skywave doing anything by herself.
Nope.
Otherwise, it's just a waste of resources.
Mm-hmm.
How long would it take you to kill like a pack of raptors, a Skywave?
Kill a pack of raptors?
Yeah, dude.
At least 7 to 8 seconds.
Oh my god. Okay.
Like they like die and like disintegrate or like
yeah, like not get knocked away, like actually die. Like
yeah, like 7 to 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's too much time. She's
a
healer, like legit. That is her job. Okay. I think she's cracked in PvP, bro. A blind distortion, fucking time stopping.
She can do it.
She's hitting you, she's healing your ally. Like that shit's annoying, bro.
It is. I just not fun.
Yeah, just not fun. Is it because she's easy to play that she's not fun for you? A easy to play player is good with the community.
She's easy to play, but I don't know. You're there to fight dinosaurs. At least with Nimbus, I think everybody in this tier, except for her, gets into the fray, and that might be just the way she was built to not be in the fray.
Yeah, I think so.
Which you're like, look at my friends down there fighting dinosaurs, and you're like, I'm up here healing. You're like that parent that took your kids to the amusement park, and they're having the time of their life, but they're like, look at me, the mom, thankless job, just kind of like, I brought them here and not getting any thanks. They're just having the time of their life. But hey, that's I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do.
All right. This is gonna make or break it then. What do you think she brings to the table for boss fights? There's this one mode where I'm not sure if that was you or another player, but there was this one mode in a boss fight where there are no reses. No one can come back to life on their own. And the Skywave was the only person. She kept flying and could not pick anyone up because the mobs were just following her. She doesn't fly fast. And when she landed, she can't heal herself. So we lost that. She died. I just wanted to put that out there. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. I was thinking about like maybe half the boss fight she would be very well. I didn't see her in the final one. Maybe I didn't see her in the final one at all. But I don't know. Like especially for those mobs where like when it's like that boss fight in, for instance, you're talking about like where like there's no respawns, you have to get res. Like she can't come down and save you. She can try. But like it's gonna be tough because I don't think she has a lot of health either.
No, and even if she ults, that's only the people who were in the ultimate at the time of the ultimate.
People can still walk into the ult.
Exactly. I've done it too many times.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, she's great, easy to play. She does well in PvE, definitely PvP. She does what she's supposed to in PvE, I guess. Yeah, because she does. She gathers. Yeah, she does the CC. She has it all. Well, maybe she should put gravity field down before she reses. Maybe that'll help a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe, okay. We just had a Skywave who didn't do it right. I can't give her S tier. How you feel about A?
A is fair.
You want to give her B?
A is fair. No, A is fair. She does what she's supposed to do.
I agree. Now we got my boy Witch Doctor. Yeah, buddy.
Witch Doctor.
Oh shit! No.
Buy more, save more.
Oh no, I hit the link. Well, oh wait, no, I just opened another tab. Nice. Okay. My boy Witch Doctor. Bro. I've been playing Witch Doctor for the past like day. You might have to bring me down because like Skywave, but I don't want to put this man in S tier.
I bet you do.
Bro. So we did a specific we did the final boss fight, where there's 10 people, and I was the only healer for the entire game mode, and I had Witch Doctor and healed the entire team, all game. And his area of effect heal is busted. It's broken. You get 2 stacks of them, and if you get the module where you flip, you can get a third one. You can't stack 3, but you can use 1, flip, and have 2 stacks again. PvE He stuns them, keeps them in place. It's no different than Skywave's gravity, except it's just his auto-clicking attack. The damage numbers are meh. You know, you're getting like, it's kind of like Krieger. You're getting like 6, 6, 6. You know, 8, 8, 8, 12, 12, 12, depending on like what kind of enemy it is. If it's like a Carno, Triceratops, anything bigger, you're getting 16s. So that's something notable. If you use your claw thing that reaches out, you recharge your energy, so you technically you can never have to let go of the left trigger. For PvP, I don't think I've ever killed anyone inside of a regen field, a repair field.
You can kill people in there?
Exactly. I think it repairs too much health in order to kill somebody. So if you find an ally and just put him in the field, you're winning that fight. And if you're losing the fight, you can put another one down.
Yeah, I will say that field comes up a lot.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but if a witch doctor is like lasering you down with his lightning, for some reason it puts you in a little bit of a panic to where you don't aim as well. Because that's happened to me like too many times. I'm just like, he's right in front of me, and I cannot hit him, and I'm like, my health is draining slowly but surely. I will lose this fight, you know.
And it doesn't help that when he's doing that, he can paralyze you, right?
I've never been paralyzed.
Okay, I feel like I've been paralyzed by him.
Yeah, so I don't really know.
I get scared because I'm like, oh my goodness, he's hitting me. I need to get out of here before I get paralyzed.
Yeah, but it does put you in a state of panic, right? It's really interesting. I think with PvP, he's really annoying because if he puts the field down and he's electrocuting you, you're just like, there's no way out of this. Oh, also, if he latches onto you, he slows your movement. He inhibits your maneuverability. You don't get to use your dash. You're walking very slowly, so you have nowhere to go. God forbid a teammate shows up.
Yeah, then you're really dead.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed it, but yesterday when we played together, I was using the module to give allies an attack buff. It boosts attack of allies for about 4 to 5 seconds. No, sorry, 5 to 6 seconds. And did you notice the change?
I did, and especially didn't one part have to consist with distance?
That was you for distance. That was specifically Deadeye. Yeah.
Okay. It was, yeah, I saw, and then yeah, I did more damage, especially during the part where we could actually ult and do more damage. It was really dumb.
Yeah. Every time you ulted, I hit you with it, but the movement speed it gives you, because there's a 15-second movement speed that you get from using it on an ally. It heals you. Now you can give increased damage. He's well-rounded kit. If you're good with him, you can PvP. I think he's crucial for boss fights because he heals an entire area. He can heal people who are on the other team. You know, if you have like 10 people total, he can heal everybody.
Yep. He also has a good escape.
Good, oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Direction. Yeah, so like if for some reason the floor becomes lava, wink wink, you can just flip away. And parachute. Remember when we first started playing, you were like, where did the witch doctor go? And I'm like, I think he flipped that way.
Yeah, he gave me the meanest okie doke.
So like he's obviously top. He's obviously A tier. I don't have a reason to not put him in S tier, to be honest. I mean, he's ugly, but like, who cares?
Yeah, I would say S tier.
Same. All right, congrats. Nobody goes in D. It was going to be the Exo pilots.
Yeah.
All right, GG's. That's a good tier list.
GG.
If you have different opinions, please let us know in the comments. And we'll be there to talk to you guys. Comment, like, and subscribe.
Bye.